Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis, and today, May 21st, we are back at another Lost Sector that is dropping legs at the Legend difficulty, which is 1310. Today we're on the moon, K1 Revelation, and this is the longer Lost Sectors where you gotta break the crystals and deal with the ogres, but it is still a very manageable one if you just go in there with the right loadout. So let's talk about what we've got to manage. Champions, we are dealing with Unstoppable, which is going to be a few ogres, obviously, since they're the big main point of this, and you also got a few barrier knights that you're going to need to break down. As for shields, the only shields you're going to have are a few arc shields. They're going to be on some knights, so it's really your preference in how you want to deal with those knights, but the main key is that you just need to be able to break the shield. I'm kind of torn in what loadout I want to use. Now, complete and total preference, if you can actually get out to Unstoppable Grenade Launcher, that's what I would probably run. If you have Salvage or Salvo, it's a fantastic choice for this one. I'm trying to do it without that because, believe me, that would actually be my dominant choice. Since I actually do have that mod, just would basically swap this one out, change up, what my artifact mod, what my mods are, and run with that. So my recommendation, if you have that mod and you're willing to put the, put the 7 stat one on there, Salvage or Salvo is perfect for this one to hit enemies from far away. It's void, or it's arc, so you could break the shields that you need to. Would be great. I'm just going to be using a good old void sidearm or an arc sidearm. Sorry, I keep getting those confused. But the big thing to note, the main modifier is burn is void damage. So that means you're going to be doing more void damage. Whatever the burn is typically what you want to match your heavy to. So you've got a lot of options in here that can possibly work. You're going to have Bad Omens for a void grenade launcher. You've got Threaded Needle for a Void Linear Fusion. If you're brave with a sword, I might not recommend this one, but it's still going to be pretty powerful. You've got Crowd Pleaser for a grenade launcher. You've got the new Shattered Cipher machine gun. Mine kicks like a mule, but it's actually still pretty potent. So you got a lot of options. Just make sure your heavy matches, and same thing with your subclass. As long as you have an arc weapon here, you're totally fine. Now, if you prefer to run a different sidearm or something, just make sure you have an arc subclass so you have some way to break the arc shields of the few knights that you're going to deal with. For barrier, I am going to run a scout rifle instead of an auto rifle, though, hence why I was kind of moving stuff around. Another alternative, if you do want to check, you can go to weapons, go to scout rifles, and see what's active, and see what your void scout rifles or arc scout rifles are going to be. So you've got Eternal Blazon, actually would probably work fairly perfect here. And then your sidearm is going to be kind of a different option. So if you have an Eternal Blazon, that's actually not a horrible choice, mostly because your option to deal with the ranged enemies that you're going to be dealing with. So I can move one over here, and I can go Eternal Blazon, decent perk roll, not a big deal. And then here, I can use basically any I want. Now, if you're using exotic here, you can't. You can use basically even the new Cryosthesia sidearm. So you got a lot of options in here. I think the most fun would probably be Salvage or Salvo for the arc ranged and explosions and still satisfying the unstable or the unstoppable thing. But other than that, Scout, sidearm, your 2 basic mods without going crazy on the requirements. And then whatever you go heavy and subclass, try and make them void so your damage is most efficient. Same thing when you picture what perks. I'm going to go Banner Shield, mostly because if I get grenades to explode, I get a little grenade energy back. My defensive shield is actually my most potent defensive shield, as opposed to the other ones. I could do well, but that one I'm not as keen on. So again, pick your grenades that are going to be the most potent. So sidearm, scout rifle, your preference if you want to go grenade launcher and enjoy the void. So let's jump in, see how we do. All right, so first thing we jump in, you're going to have a few ads down here. Scout rifle is going to work pretty well for some of this. You can sit back here, pluck away at the ads. As you're working rocket launcher, I did this previous kind of test run with the machine gun. The machine gun was nice for speed for clearing ads, but it just kicked a lot when you're going to try and kill some other things. But if you do get heavy to drop, enjoy the rocket launcher for what it's capable of doing. If you see heavy ammo drop, feel free to use it because you'll be able to get some back. And it's definitely going to kill basically everything as a rocket launcher. They feel pretty good at this point. Same thing here. If I really wanted to, I can make the process fairly quick with my rocket launcher. You just got to watch your ammo. That's the biggest thing. So having ammo finder on, having scavenger on so you pick up more, having better reserves on for your heavy is always going to help in these. But the big thing that I'm going to save my rockets for is mainly the champions. They're the main point why you have something that potent. So be careful. Around this corner, you might have the barrier champion sitting up here at the top. If not, then just be careful where he lands. Usually goes farther down. So from here, we're going to pluck off the 2 acolytes that we can. See if we can, get a grenade to stick down there. Explode and do some damage. Again, remember those grenades are going to be pretty potent. So So then once you've got those down, you're going to have your barrier knights. So just make sure you got enough ammo so you're ready to pluck the shield off if he goes. Also make sure your rocket's ready. Can't tell you how many times I forget to reload. As soon as he goes to actually pop his shield, you want to make sure you break it quick. Make sure you got enough shots to break it. Put the rocket on there, and then you're good to go. Outside of that, you can either jump down there and finish him, or for safety, you can just finish him off with the scout rifle. Now, if you're worried about having enough clips in there, one thing you could completely add is like backup mag just to give you a few more bullets. I can't do that because my loadout's locked. But if you want a few more bullets, if you're working on those adds from range. Now, one thing from there to watch out and be careful in, void damage. It's going to basically kill you. And that shrieker out there is going to be rough. So sit back here for a little bit. And this is why the scout rifle is actually going to work very well. So Eternal Blazon, not too hard to come by. It's one of the Vanguard scout rifles. You can find it in multiple places. But once you spawn enough of the adds, you're also going to have some of the ones down below, which does include a champion. So, depending on what angles you can get, you can use this little perch up here. You can find your guys down below. Now, if you do throw a grenade down there and it manages to stick on somebody, like that, you want to be ready to break that barrier knight. If he goes, make sure you reload. If I can get him to break that shield, and then I can fire that rocket. Not a good time to forget to reload. That's unfortunate. He's going to go running up top, and he's going to be out of my reach. I'm probably not going to be able to kill him from here. I'm going to try and reload my rocket, see if I can even get it ready. But I'm still going to need to be plucking away at him. We're going to keep firing. Now, if he gets to where I can't see him, only so much I can do. But again, reload as much as you can. He breaks it again now that my rocket is reloaded. Again, I do these sometimes inefficient for you guys. And that way, at least I know he should die. Cool. Not the most efficient method. If you can kill him down there when your rocket's reloaded, you're going to be better off. Now, when you get to about this little box, there's going to be a shrieker over there. If shriekers are void, in these lost sectors, they're brutal. So as soon as you get into enough range that it opens, you basically want to open it up. It's always like touchy where it's going to open. If you can get up here, you might be able to use this for cover. But you got to be careful about the ammo. Now, I've got heavy ammo sitting over there, even if it's just a couple. Basically, I'm just going to use my rocket. Those guys hurt a ton. If you got to sit here and, you know, peek out, get like 2 shots on a shrieker at a time, it's totally worth it. So, be careful. Those shriekers, as the burn is void, yeah, you can output a lot of void damage, but you also take a ton as well. So, be careful on those shriekers. They will just ruin your day. Got some ammo. If I can reload, you're also going to see the ads start spawning. Hence another reason why the scout rifle is good. You can actually come back here and start picking away at some of these guys. And again, this is more of a patience lost sector. Seeing ammo drop is good. Means I know I can get a little aggressive on rockets at some point. But again, you're going to need to just be a little bit patient. Scout rifle is good to be able to do that in here. This is not one typically that you can rush through, because you got to go through, you got to break the crystals, and you got to kill the ogres that spawn. But this is a way if you want to try and get at least one roll on your legs. It may not be one that you prefer to farm, but it can be one of those that you can at least get your 1 drop for the day, see if you get it, and if not, then maybe later. But it is one that should be doable for everybody. 1310 shouldn't be that bad. And it's just patience on this one. Just don't rush it. It's not all that bad. It's just trying not to go too fast. So I've got a decent amount of heavy out there at this point. You're also going to see some ads up top. So again, try and clear out anything that is up above that wants to ruin your day. Again, try and check your jumps and mobilities. Night will definitely ruin you a little bit. Again, as it's barrier, you can shoot through his shield, which is kind of nice to be able to do. Try and get him to keep moving around so he doesn't keep shielding on you. Not always doable, but sometimes. And again, you can even jump up here if you really want to. Gets a little more aggressive up here. But be careful getting this close to basically anything. So that's gonna, if you kill most of the ads up here, you're gonna have some room to work. But you remember, if you need to, go hide and cover, pull back, be careful. At some point, you're also gonna see you've got some ads over here, same thing. Gonna have this knight over here doing his pop out and shield situation. And it's nice to be able to just kill most of the ads from back here. Because again, slow, patient, lost sector, kind of the name of the game today. Now, I know he's back there, but he's also got a void shield, so it wouldn't do me a lot of good to fire a rocket, at least until I break his shield. At some point, he's going to mosey out. There we go. If I had Firefly on this one, it might actually work better. Dragonfly, at least. There's big guy. He's just going to scream. Alright, so once we get down here and we've killed most of the ads, safe place to jump down is going to be this direction here. You are going to see your knight at this point, so if you can try and get him some work in, as long as he doesn't hide too much. Try and finish him up. Keep firing through that shield. Should be alright. From here, when you break the crystal, when you kill all the ads, you're going to be able to break the crystal. If you haven't killed all the ads yet, there's usually one straggler. Always is. Now, once he dies, then you're going to want to go find some cover, because that is going to pull your ogre. Ogres are void, hence ogres are going to kick your butt. So, ogre is going to be where you're going to need to load that unstoppable shot in, peek out, and get that shot in. Once it's there, go ahead and go for the big shot. See what you can do with your rocket launcher. Again, if you hit a unstoppable ogre, unstoppable enemy of any kind, and then get out of cover, they won't chase you. He will when he sees you, but if he doesn't see you, it's not a big deal. So I can sit here and do this all day and pluck away at him. It's a little boring to do that. Now, should be able to kill him. Not as big deal. Got another res. Now, when you do break the crystal, you are going to spawn a little bit of fun that comes out. This is going to be your wizard. And if the wizard is solar, I'm actually going to be in a bit of trouble, but we'll find out. Alright, so now up top you're going to have your second set up there. Using these little crates over here for a little bit of cover gives you a little pocket to shoot through. You can kind of peek and see if anybody's going to get an angle on you, if you can shoot them through the stairs. But having a little bit of something in front of you is going to save your life a little bit. And the main one you're going to be looking for, again, is going to be that knight. Having that ether fly at you still sometimes freaks me out. Is that anybody else or just me? I've got another unstoppable ogre up there. Which theoretically, I could actually kind of tag him if I can get an angle on him. But again, remember, you're going to have ads all over the place in here. So use your scout rifle. Try and pluck away at what you can. Get any ammo in case you're struggling on that department. And just be patient here. You can jump in and get really aggressive and also get yourself killed pretty fast. Not so fun. But if I can get an angle on him by just like barely jumping up here or something, might be able to get just enough. Get one bullet into his head. And I can do that, but unfortunately my rocket's probably not going to get there, so I'm going to leave him there for now and try and get a little clearer angle by clearing out some of this side stuff. Might have some lower down ads here. Work them, clear them out. Just patience on this one. Not a great way to rush this. Once you come up here, you're definitely going to have some ads. I'm just going to use a rocket right there just to finish him off. Normally not even remotely going to be that aggressive, but I just wanted to make use of that rocket since I did pop the damage on him. Going to fall back down. Still got some heavy ammo back here, which is nice. As you move around, some of these big guys will move as well, so be careful. Like I'm looking this direction, something could kind of totally peek out over there and start taking me out. You just got to be careful what's up here. Looks like we've got another unstoppable ogre up there. Now is when it gets to be a little bit spicy. So same principle. If you want to come back here, you're still going to have this unstoppable ogre over here, but I've cleared up a little more space at this point. See if there's any more of these ads out in the middle that I can take out. I might be low on health. A little more random shots coming at you. Or a little less random fire coming your direction. This is going to help you take out these ogres in a little bit of a safer manner. Again, if you ever get a grenade over there, your grenade... Oh, God. Sometimes he's going to do that, and there's nothing you can do. Be ready to switch. And then if you tag him, go hide. Because this is what's going to be able to save you. Because then you can make sure your rocket's reloaded for the next shot. Make sure you got your shot ready as soon as you look. Tag him, kill him, and you're good to go. That's the nice thing about unstoppables. As long as you get out of line of sight, they're not as bad. But if they see you and they continue to chase you, you will be in trouble. So, got one more up top. Still got some ads up here, so I'm going to try and take those out just so I can get a little more of a ranged angle on this guy up top. You get a little close when you get on his level. Now, I do have quite a few ads still up here, but the ogre doesn't seem to be able to get me on the left, so I seem to be okay at the moment. jump around like an idiot. Again, one ogre is behind that giant wall. You want to make sure he stays there. So if you get tagged, you know, jumping down into this little crevice could save you, just so I can pull up and get some cover. So just watch your left, and if he chases you, it's kind of nice just to leave him alone for the time being. Now, I'm going to hit this crystal because I still have some cover over here that I can use. You're going to spawn some more ads when that happens. Just make sure everything is dead that can be dead. The one on my radar right now is actually the boss who hasn't spawned yet. So now I got to go find Ogre Fun. So I want to actually kind of pull him to me a little bit. And let that rocket hit him. Basically take him out in half. Same thing. Make sure things are reloaded. Then, same principle. Get that shot off. All it has to do is tag him. Notice he's going to kick my butt, though, if I miss. It is a really long range for a sidearm to fire. But as long as you can get that tag shot, you don't need a tracking rocket launcher. They stand still. It's not so bad. All right, so from here, we want to pick up our ammo because we're going to want to dump a lot of rockets into this boss. When you spawn the boss, you're going to want to run way back down below and make sure everything is dead. So I still seem like I've got some ads waiting for me. At least one somewhere. Somebody's hanging out waiting on me. I can't tell if they're up top, which they very well could be, sitting up here on the top of this. So be careful. There we go. That was a good time for a grenade. See if that can put in some work for the top guys. Get some nice dual explosions. And hey, we got some ammo. Now, I'm getting lucky in the heavy ammo department, but again, you can sit back and pluck away at a lot of this stuff. So again, you're going to break a crystal. Be ready to bail depending on what spawns. Normally, there are wizards in this lost sector. They normally are there, but they're not in this version, mostly for that reason. So, I've killed all 3 crystals. 1, 2, and I think that third one over there. Now, from here, you can bail all the way back below if you need to. Use it if you want. But if you're fully stocked on pretty much everything you want, you can go ahead and break the crystal. And then if you get a shot, use this for cover and just put damage into the big boy. Now, I have a tracking rocket launcher, so that's going to help me a little bit. If you have a tracking rocket launcher, it's not a bad thing. Linear fusions are not going to be a bad idea. Nice thing about rocket launchers, you can kill a lot of the other guys as well. And now it's just slowly the hunt and peck of trying to pick some damage off into him. Now, you are going to have a champion out there as well. So when you deal with the champion, you might want to save a couple rockets for those. You can pluck away on big guy. There's your barrier knight. I knew he was coming. Again, get as far away as you can to mess with these guys. And if you can pluck at him from way back here and do damage, and it's one less guy shooting you, then you're probably going to be okay. But again, you're going to have a decent amount of acolytes that spawned up top, right where the boss did, so you can work those down so there's less random grenades and things coming to you. Yeah, those little ether things are honestly a bit distracting, but I guess that's a mechanic that they might get some feedback on later on. There's again boss man. So again, if you get a chance, get a rocket back there and get a shot at him. Take it. And just keep slowly plucking away. No reason to rush this thing. The champion can die after the boss and is usually easier because that champion is not void and yet the boss is. So as you work through, again, you can come back up here to the stairs. Use this little bucket of cover. And again, if you are using a rocket launcher, you can miss if you don't have tracking. So tracking is going to be beneficial on a rocket. If you've got a void rocket with that on it, it's probably what I would recommend just to make sure more of your shots count. Because he slowly waddles across the room, he's still probably going to miss on that range, that long range of a shot. If you got to do this, sit back here, pluck away at the damage. And I've probably said pluck way too many times this time. But, I mean, that's kind of what you're doing. Just ticking away whatever damage you can get on him. You know, chunk a grenade from halfway across the map and see what happens. You never know where it's going to land. Might land on something good, might completely do nothing. I got 1 acolyte, so. Not a huge benefit, but 1 less guy is down, and it's 1 less thing I have to worry about. On those guys, sometimes it's like I can't even hit his head till he gets to a point where I can. Be careful about his shots, because if he starts tagging you at all, get in cover. That's why working from this little box back here isn't a bad thing. Now, if he's going to sit there and stand, now's a good time, even without tracking, that'd still hit him. And that is the actual boss down. But we still have to kill the champion that's out there. So if you got any more heavy, you might want to make sure you grab it. Make sure you reload. And then we're going to get to that last champion that spawned. And it should just be 1, if I remember correctly. It's been a minute since I've run this one on a high difficulty. So you might also need to make sure you get some white ammo in case you're running low on that, because you still got to be able to break that barrier shield. I'm going to go over here. I got 2 rockets left. You got your super, but it can be a little risky. Now, you can still die. It's not a big deal, but I've actually wasted 16 minutes, so you don't want to die. If you're patient like this one, watch the res timer, because if you run out of res timers and things are not dead, then that's an issue. So we still have to find our champion, who should be back there. We've also got some snipers. I do have some rockets, so I'm going to pick those up. I'm going to get back to my little cubby of safety here. Did we spawn more champions? Oh, we didn't spawn more champions, but we definitely got a lot of fun ads coming. So when these thralls start coming, they're going to get interesting. So if you can get a grenade off, those thrall are going to be quite entertaining. Explosive grenades are good. Anything of that waveform. Any grenade that's going to work. But yeah, those thrall will definitely come once you get up to a certain point. And then again, time to peek. Now, there is a knight somewhere chilling out waiting for me. There he is. Again, the only shield you have to deal with is these guys, but they are just spread out just enough. You might want to make sure you got a weapon that's arc instead of something else. Same thing with the champion. And that right there, those random flying grenades by one random acolyte in the back, those are so annoying. So that's why if you can kill the acolytes in the back that seem to have the, arm of a major league player, the random sniper acolyte in the back as well, if you can kill those guys, taking out then the champions is going to be much easier. Kind of like that. Where is that coming from? You got quite the arm there, buddy. It's impressive, but annoying. Apparently there's quite a few of them back there still. So I'm going to try and jump and chunk a grenade just into the back. Don't even know if it's going to hit anything. Got a little tag. Yeah, focus on, if you hit the champion enough, make sure when you get him down about, 2/3 through that first bar, he's going to pop his little shield thing. Make sure you got enough to be able to... And now I can't see him because he's in barrier mode. So I got to kill enough things to be able to get up close enough to be able to see him at this point. So now between acolytes here. Now this is a little risky, but at this point I definitely should be able to see what I'm going after here. Things will die a little easier. Watch your ammo count. Watch your snipers up top, where if you push up, those guys might start spawning. There's always seemingly more ads here, so just be careful. Watch those guys up top. Those acolytes on the top deck will be the snipers. And there's more than you think. Now, I'm sure there's a more efficient run to be able to do this. But this is one that's really hard to rush through. So if you only get a couple of these and you don't... He disappeared? Oh, that's not great. So you don't want to kill all the ads or he disappears. Good to know. But it still actually gave me platinum rewards, which is bizarre. So my advice, actually... complete that without a fire team, so that's not so bad. My advice, actually, I know I said kind of push up a little bit, but try not to kill all the ads because you don't actually want him to disappear. It showed platinum rewards, but that little platinum pop-up is unreliable. So that small difference aside, I would probably try and pick off most of the enemies and then eventually work on finishing the champion up from range, leaving 1 or 2 of the enemies up. Try and kill the snipers maybe, but try not to kill all the ads down below, because if that makes them despawn and that takes away from your chance at platinum rewards, that'll kind of ruin your chances at those exotics. Let's get back to orbit and we'll finish this thing up. All right, so that basically covers it. Obviously, I don't think if you guys, kill that champion a little bit sooner, shoot a rocket, try and get some cover, but maybe just don't take out all the ads. Might have to deal with a couple extra grenades and watch your time. The patience in that room did get me to that 15-minute timer. So if you got to push and be a little bit more aggressive, you might want to do that. If there are other loadouts that you guys find are really beneficial, comment those below. This is just like your safe, slow, plucky method, and honestly, if you had salvage or salvo, I would love to use that one, and probably would be a little quicker, but I was trying not to in case, some new players don't. But if you can throw this one on, you're probably going to be able to do a whole lot of work with this one. Lots of explosions. Very effective weapon to use. But you want your void to be heavy. Whatever you use, make sure your void is heavy. It's going to be a very efficient way to put damage into those champions, and then the boss himself. However you get unstoppable, whether it's a grenade launcher, You're going to want something for barrier, and my recommendation is a scout. If you go salvagers, you could easily throw on Night Watch, just as simple. And again, use a void subclass as well. You've only got to deal with arc shield. So if you got those covered, then you should be good to go. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for this video, guys. K1 Revelation. This is Legend today, and it is dropping those exotic legs. So if you're trying to get the new exotics for Season of the Splicer, this is the place you want to be in. So if you did enjoy this video, drop a like below. If you guys have any comments, thoughts, builds, or things that I haven't used, please mention those. There's plenty of stuff that I did not cover in here for optional weapons that you could be using. If you enjoyed this one, also drop a like and hit a subscribe on that channel. It's a nice way to help me to support the channel. And if you want to see future videos, hit that alert bell. That'll kind of help my videos get into your feed. You guys can find me over on Twitter and then also over on Twitch, streaming Destiny typically on Tuesdays and then a variety on other days. I cover quite a few different games on Twitch, so played a mix of everything. Thank you guys very much, and I'll see you in the next one.